what do you think? Why women are still hesitant to go for a strength training? Because I have been following you for a while now, and I've seen you are going through a good amount of strength training as well.
Yeah.
So why do still women hesitate? And
Yeah, probably women hesitate. There is a myth that they'll become bulky, they'll develop a lot of muscles doing the strength, but that is not the fact. If you have to build a lot of muscles, it takes a lot of work, and with women, with we working professional having about an hour's time to work out, it's just not possible to extend more than an hour to work out and to build that muscles. They think that it becomes bulky, but strength training is very important along with your cardio. Cardio can be your dance or Zumba is very famous now. Along with that, 3 days in a week to include strength is very important for all ages, just not women reaching their 40s or 30, or during the menopausal, perimenopausal. It's even more important, that strength, because it builds the muscles. You'll start losing after 40. Women start losing muscles, right?
And the way I see, a lot of people they have been following a lot of threads and a lot of channels, a lot of different wellness coaches these days, because everybody is getting more, they want to get more and more fitter, and they want to get into more version, as you already mentioned, confident and next level version zone. So sometimes I have seen few of my close friends also, women, they are they are not very sure what they are consuming. So can you share some wrong food habits which women are following when they are trying to lose weight, which they should not do, and it can have other way around, like few people have crash diets, a lot of things these days in market. Can you share few things where women are following few things for losing weight, which is ultimately not going to have that much of holistic impact on their health?
Yeah. So the myth, eating less is not equivalent to weight reduction.
Good
So
one,
that is
actually.
the
Yeah.
biggest myth, where you eat less, that means you're going to reduce weight. Actually, you will become, you will have less energy, right?
Dear Divya, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the podcast Live Your Dreams with Vartika. We are so glad to have you today here as our guest, and this topic is really our need of the hour, and a matter deeply so many women will be able to connect: building a healthy, sustainable lifestyle, and the real demands of work, family, and everyday life. Your insight and experience in health and fitness makes you exactly the voice of our listeners need to hear from. Thank you for joining us. We are looking forward for a candid, practical conversation with you who cuts through the noise and gives women real, actionable guidance. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vartika. Thanks for the invite. It's an honor that I'm sitting here and having a podcast and to share my knowledge about fitness and healthy eating. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for taking out time to share your knowledge with us. We can't wait to record this episode together.
Sure.
So, Divya, if we talk about healthy eating, there are a lot of misconceptions around the same subject. And I would like to know from you, what does this healthy eating really mean for women at different stages of life?
All right. So, healthy eating for women, are we talking mainly about women here? So, at different stages. So, for a woman at different stages, the nutritional requirements are very different. But the basic food remains the same. I mean to say, at any age group, we need to have a balanced diet. Balanced diet will contain protein and fats, carbohydrates, and fiber. So that forms the basic balanced diet. I'm talking about the balanced diet, right? So at different stages of life, when a woman is in her 20s, in 30s, 40s, 50s, so a woman's body is changing throughout the decades, right? Every decade, it's changing. So when a woman is in her 20s, right, she needs more energy. She's menstruating at that point of time. The food requirement is different in the sense they might need more of the adequate amount of proteins and vitamin D, since they're also menstruating at that point of time. Iron is also very important. Iron content is very important. So during 30s, again, the requirement. So that is the stage when women has a career. She's balancing her career, family, kids. So again, there is a lot of stress as well. So what is important again at that point of time, to have a stress management and also to incorporate proteins, Right amount of proteins is very important, where most of the women miss out on having right protein. Along with that, vitamin D is needed throughout. I mean, for all age groups, vitamin D is for most of the
Agreed.
for most of the women or Indian population, there is a vitamin D deficiency. So adequate amount of vitamin D, or the main source is the sunlight, right? That needs to be vitamin D needs to be taken somehow through your supplements or through the food or through the sunlight, because that helps in the absorption of the calcium.
So
And
the way
yeah.
you stated one point here, I'm sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt you. Like you mentioned that every woman has a different stage of life, and as per the different stage of life, that nutrition differs. So do you mean that the type of protein she has to take, plus the quantity and the amount of protein intake she has to consume on daily basis, it also changes?
See, the protein content will depend upon the weight each
Okay.
person,
Okay.
but it is not related to the age factor, right? It depends upon the body weight, your body mass index. So it depends upon those. So ideal protein should be equivalent to that of your weight. That should be the ideal. If at all, if you're around 50 kgs, 50 grams of protein is what is needed for any individual at any age group. All right. And if at all, if you have a sedentary lifestyle, 50 grams is fine if you're 50 kgs. And if you have an active lifestyle, then the protein content has to be more. It has to be around 60 to 65 grams of
Okay, it
protein.
depends on our daily lifestyle and
Yes.
habits also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Depending on that, you will have to. So, see, even the carbohydrates are needed. All right, very much needed. One of the myth is that the carbohydrates is not needed, or having a lot of carbohydrates is not good, but in moderate amount, that much that is required for the body. We need around 40 to 50% of carbohydrates.
Okay.
All right, that much amount carbohydrates in moderation is good, and we need to consume the carbohydrates along with proteins. Will form around 15 to 25% of proteins, and then the fats, again, fats are also needed because they needs to constitute around 20% of the total diet. The fat, again, we have healthy and unhealthy fats. So what is important is to have healthy fats. What are healthy fats? Your nuts, almonds, walnuts. These are the healthy fats. So that needs to be incorporated into the diet. And what needs to be avoided is the trans fat. The trans fat will be that of the cakes, pastries, and different junk, pizzas, burgers, those are the trans fats.
Yeah.
So the more you eat,
Agreed.
the cholesterol, you'll have more cholesterol, and leads to different complications. So basic understanding of food, nutrition, a little bit of science on how the food or the nutrition acts on your body, a little bit of knowledge will make a lot of difference, because you will know how to eat, what needs to be incorporated into your daily diet. So it's very important to have a little bit of knowledge, read about it, or now there is no dearth for knowledge.
Agreed. And I'm very happy to have you here because you already have this nutrition, as you're working on it. Plus, you have been into corporate, you are a senior corporate healthcare professional, you have industry rich experience, you might be interacting with a lot of females in day to day life across your experience. So, you might have seen many of us, like me also, we struggle to balance our work life and daily lifestyle because of lot of things, lot of responsibilities, maybe due to kid responsibilities, maybe sometimes we get so much of laid back with our going on ongoing lifestyles and everything, that we just stop looking at ourselves. We struggle, right? Women mostly, they struggle after some certain amount of time. So Divya, do you have any suggestion for us women who are working professionals, or even non-working professionals, if they can include anything nutrition and fitness in day-to-day life, which they can realistically follow? They don't have to push their boundaries too much, which is way beyond for them. Maybe they have some certain responsibilities and some sort of things to be taken care of, priority in their lives. So do you have any such suggestion for them?
Yeah. So even I am a working professional, as you just mentioned. I have a kid.
Senior corporate professional.
I have a kid. I have responsibility. I'll have to take care of home, office. Yeah, I'm a full-time employee, and also I've started doing a little bit of modeling during my weekends. So, but still, I know the importance of health. So I educated myself on what is, until unless I'm taking care of this, I know it very well. I put in my head that until unless I take care of myself, I'll not be able to take care of anyone in the family, or I'll not be able to be productive at work. So I experienced it when I used to not work out. The way I led life was so different from the time when I started working out. I took an action. So, taking an action will make a huge difference.
Okay.
You know, that one step, once you take that small step, when it becomes a habit, you know, you will not stop it because you'll start enjoying that. You will know the benefits of it. That's how I started. I started having a system on what needs to be done so that I make it consistent. So even if you're doing something very small, just going for a walk, you know, you I think anyone can take out at least going out for a walk for 20 minutes to start off, and then
Right.
they can develop on that. So building up the healthy habit and also healthy eating along with that. So one of the concepts again is it is 80% of what you eat and 20% of the fitness training that you do. That is what makes a person. That's how the weight management is also done. Just working out and then you eat anything that you want will not help at all. I do have friends where they work out a lot but they don't have a diet, but I still do not see any change in the weight management.
Yes.
The weight remains
That's not
the
healthy,
same.
actually.
It is
Holistic. I would say holistic. It's
yes.
not
So
holistic.
80% is your diet. You have to know what to eat and incorporating that right amount of protein. Along with protein, even the fibers, right? The dietary fiber is very important. Having vegetables
Okay.
every day on a daily basis before your lunch or before your dinner, incorporating the fiber part of it, which is vegetables or a little bit of fruits. A fruit should not be had in a large quantity. Little bit of fruits, again fruits has fructose, it is sugar, right? The sugar level again will go up, the blood sugar level will go up if at all, if you're eating a lot of fruits also in a right quantity, but a lot of veggies will veggies in the sense it has a lot of fibers, so they help in digestion. Fibers help in digestion.
Okay.
And also it avoids the constipation, help in constipation, and also it is very good for the gut health. So gut health is a big thing nowadays, right?
It is actually. Yeah.
So your fibers are very important in maintaining a very good gut health. So include your vegetables. Many of them, I think the major thing that is missing, people talk. There is a lot of talk about proteins, but there is about fiber. I think that knowledge still needs to come. I guess we are still in the protein
People are
part
very
of it.
confused, I would say.
Yeah.
They are not understanding what fiber they need as per their body, and what is the right amount of fiber and what is the right fiber. They're not aware. That awareness is still lacking in this area. You rightly mentioned that.
Yeah.
And we already discussed, you shared your rich experience about nutrition, you shared experience about, having some daily routine where you're working out. It can be anything, like as simple as 20 minutes of walk, right?
Yes.
I have some, you know, some curiosity around this subject of strength training for women. See, I'm not also a very big strength training enthusiast yet. Maybe I'll get inspired after this podcast. But what do you think? Why women are still hesitant to go for a strength training? Because I have been following you for a while now, and I've seen you are going through a good amount of strength training as well.
Yeah.
So why do still women hesitate? And
Yeah, probably women hesitate. There is a myth that they'll become bulky, they'll develop a lot of muscles doing the strength, but that is not the fact. If you have to build a lot of muscles, it takes a lot of work, you know. And with women, with we working professional having about an hour's time to work out, it's just not possible to extend more than an hour to work out and to build that muscles. They think that it becomes bulky, but strength training is very important along with your cardio. You know, cardio can be your dance or Zumba. Zumba is very famous now. Along with that, 3 days in a week to include strength is very important for all ages, just not, you know, women reaching their 40s or 30, or, you know, during your, I mean, during the menopausal, perimenopausal, it's even more important that strength, because it builds the muscles. You'll start losing after 40, women start losing muscles, right? So it's very important that
menopause
strength
is a very important subject itself, which we should not ignore after
Yeah,
40.
yeah.
Because when pre-menopause enters, it brings a lot of things with it. It's a complete package. It will
Yeah.
not just bring that muscle thing, it will bring a lot of hormonal changes, which will bring a lot of anxiety. And generally what I have seen, like I have few friends who were entering their pre-menopause, and how are their reactions changing over the time, like from a very jovial person to they were becoming something really dull. So
Yeah.
I think you are right. Strength training is going to regulate that sort of hormonal balance in themselves, that sort of confidence in themselves,
Yeah.
that still
Yeah.
there is a long way to go and you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it works on the confidence level.
Yeah,
And also
definitely.
your posture improves, and yeah, your whole personality can change. You can become a better version of yourself just making small changes. These are not huge changes, but these small changes will make a huge difference. And I've seen that in myself, and that's how I say. And along with that, the protein content also for women, for those who are in perimenopausal or menopausal stage, the protein content, we need a solid amount of
Okay.
protein. So
Okay.
good protein content is very important. Fibers are very important. Again, healthy fats like the sunflower seeds, the flax seeds, chia seeds, they need to be included
Okay.
as part of the diet. And also one very important thing I wanted to mention is about the supplements. Usually it is thought that supplements are like medications, or that means
Lot of myth.
yeah, there's a lot of myth about supplements.
Yes.
But supplements are again very important. They are part of the balanced diet. So what kind of supplements usually we need is about vitamin D, because vitamin D deficiency is there, and for vegetarians, so vitamin B12 is one of the deficiency. So every 6 months a blood test needs to be done, and according to the blood test you will have to take the supplements. You cannot randomly take any kind of supplements. According to the blood test, how your body is behaving, how is it acting, depending on that, those kind of supplements
Okay.
needs to be included, because people do not take the supplements at all. There is a, I mean, they neglect, and we cannot get all the nutrition through the
Just
food.
food.
Just
Yeah.
the food. These supplements are the ones which give you a balanced diet, or it gives
Balanced
all the
nutrition.
nutrition that is required, right?
And the way I see, a lot of people have they have been following a lot of threads and a lot of channels, a lot of different wellness coaches these days, because everybody is getting more, they want to get more and more fitter, and they want to get into, more version, as you already mentioned, confident and next level version zone.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have seen few of my close friends also, women, they are, they are not very sure what they are consuming. So can you share some wrong food habits which women are following when they are trying to lose weight, which they should not do, and it can have other way around, like few people have crash diets, a lot of things these days in market. Can you share few things where women are doing, following few things for losing weight, which is ultimately not going to have that much of holistic impact on their health?
Yeah. So the myth, eating less is not equivalent to weight reduction.
Good
So
one,
that is
actually.
the
Yeah.
biggest myth, where you eat less, that means you're going to reduce weight. Actually, you will become, you will have less energy, right? And there is again hormonal imbalance that happens when you don't take sufficient nutrition. When you're restricting yourself with the nutrition, there is, it's going to have other complications altogether. You will feel fatigued, restless, annoyed, and a lot of frustration also, because you're not getting the right amount of nutrition. So not having food is the biggest bit for the weight reduction. Have the right food. Right, having right food is what is very important. See, now from the time I became aware about nutrition and all that, I've started consuming more, but I know what to eat now.
Yes.
The kind of food, it's not complicated. Healthy food is not complicated. It's very simple. It's better than what unhealthy food, or having a lot of carbs on a daily basis that Indian houses we usually maintain. But little bit of modifications only will make a huge difference. It's not a lot of modifications as well. So eating less, many women, they think that they follow the social media, and there is a lot of funny things, right? Like drinking jeera water in the morning, or water, it'll reduce the weight, but that is only 1% of it. You will have to follow a lot of things. Just having some water in the morning will not help in the weight reduction. So these are on the social media there are various, they are not experts, they are not nutritionists.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
That was my point, actually. People
Yeah.
are blindly following. So the thing is that you already, expanded our horizons and thought process about this nutrition, fitness. And these days, there is one subject, Divya, which is really close to my heart also, like mental health. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say that these days mental health issues are rising like anything. Any age group you see, right, starting from a small kid to adults to old age people, it's a big issue in our country, or I would say across the globe. Mental health is a big issue, Divya, but people don't understand how nutrition is directly proportional to this mental health.
Yeah.
Can you just showcase some light on this subject, like how nutrition can help us in our hormones and what impact it does on
Yeah.
our mental health, our hormones, our health,
Yeah.
not just physical health?
Yeah. Nutrition, I mean, it acts on the whole, actually, your body, your mind. For the brain to function properly, if you do not give adequate food, your brain doesn't function properly, right? So for the brain, what is important is the healthy fats, which I mentioned,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Healthy fats are very important for the for brain function, even for hormonal imbalance as well. Healthy fats, I mean, I'm stressing again, it's healthy fats, not talking just about fat, because healthy fats are very important. Your ghee is good, but in a moderation. You cannot be having ghee in all the food. Ghee is fine. Oil also we use in the food, that is fine,
This
but
is
in
something which is
moderation.
good for brain
Yeah,
functioning.
I'm talking about healthy fats.
Okay.
Are good. Your almonds, the walnuts, peanuts, and seeds, different kinds of seeds. They are actually good for the brain
So you
function.
mean to say that whatever we are consuming,
Huh.
we will be becoming that, and if you are becoming something healthy, it will be a holistic health. We
Yeah.
just don't understand holistic is not just physical way. It will be more around the mental health also,
Yeah.
because when you have a good lifestyle, good eating habits, you will be able to self-regulate your emotions, your hormones in a better way.
Yeah, and also what is very important is sleep.
Okay.
Again, for the entire health, your physical fitness, nutrition, and sleep cannot be ignored at all. The 6 to 8 hours of sleep is needed for everyone, and if you do not sleep well, there is this cortisol, that is hormone, that is released again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, that will disturb our belly fat. There's this stress hormone. So having right amount of sleep is very important, because only when you sleep, your body rests, and also your cells will that is the time when your cells are repairing. So adequate amount of sleep is very important for the weight management. Again, belly fat, we talk so much about belly fat. If you do not sleep well, no matter you're doing right exercise, you're eating well, and if you're not sleeping well, your belly will not come down. So all these three, and again, your mental health, so incorporating meditation is also very important, because it
I
gives
know
a
you are a
clarity.
meditator, regular
Yeah,
meditator.
I've been practicing Sudarshana Kriya from past 3 years, so it's kind of healing also, right? So your every organ will take, the baggage or the burden that you have, until unless you don't heal yourself. In that way, you will not reduce the weight, or as well, no matter what. So what is also important is to take care of your mental health, get the emotions out of it. The faster you heal, or you have a practice to heal, it will work at your body level, at your fitness level. So fitness is not very simple in the sense, it works at a different level. I mean, all the layers, mentally, physically, and what you eat, sleep, all this
Yeah.
matters. And when you have a discipline, you will start enjoying it. It doesn't feel like, for me, I felt healthy eating was like a burden for me. Whenever I saw dosa, idli, I love them. Biryani, I used to get tempted, but now I see food as what kind of nutrition value it's
You
going
have
to
become
add to
mindful
me.
basically.
Yeah, but I understand what nutrition will I get, because if I eat only dosa, it's going to give me carbohydrates. Where is my protein? Where is my fiber? If I have in the same plate, dosa is there, I have my fiber, I have my vegetables, and I have a chicken, or I have paneer, I'll eat that. I will not feel guilty about it. If it's only dosa, there are 2, 3 dosas, I wouldn't have that plate, because I know that it's because I'm getting only carbs in that. So the balanced diet will have your protein and fiber and your carbohydrates and healthy fats as well, which should include your nuts and seeds, which most of us miss. But start inculcating almonds, and even almonds. See, these are healthy fats. Again, they are fats. You cannot have large quantity of almonds, walnuts, and peanuts on a daily basis. That will lead to weight gain. That should be had in right quantity as well. The kind of,
Balanced.
yeah, it has to be balanced. So for weight gain, these can be included. If at all, if someone wants to add weight, they can include a lot of walnuts, almonds. So for weight gain also, or weight reduction also, same kind of food needs to be taken. The only difference is that the portion control that you do is what is very important. And also the sequence of eating also matters a lot, all right? So first, it's good to eat the fibers, because fibers makes you feel full. In that way, you'll not eat, it'll not let you eat much.
Excess, unnecessarily excess.
Yeah, so first in your plate have veggies, have fibers, and then consume your proteins. So that should be the sequence also matters. It's very important on how you eat your food. And after that, after your protein, then comes your carbs. In that way, you're eating less of carbs. So that way you're balancing the diet. So you have adequate amount of carbs, proteins, and your fibers.
Divya, you already mentioned one point. I would just like to ponder in that point that there is a lot of chaos in healthcare industry right now, fitness industry as well, and there are a lot of channels, mediums, people who are not even basic certified nahi hai, and they are sharing a lot of content across the social media channels with a lot of blind followers, I would say. So women are in a lot of confusion. Do you have some piece of advice for women that whom to trust, how to trust, some basic one or two advice you have?
Yeah, what I would say is go to a professional, because it's safe, right? You can trust them blindly instead of trusting anyone blindly, which might lead to other complication. See, whatever investment, the self investment that you might do, right? You will have to pay extra, or you will have to spend some amount of money, but it's absolutely fine, because you're investing on yourself. It's a self investment, and it's going to return back in terms of health. It's going to be huge. So go to a nutritionist. If at all, if you've tried everything, you have PCOS or any other health conditions, and you've tried various diet, you followed a diet plan, still there is an issue with the weight reduction or hormonal imbalance, it's better to consult a nutritionist and take their advice, because they'll be able to give you right, instead of following social media, who are not experts at all, because they must be following, you need to have a background, you need to have a specialization, you need to have studied in that, or you do a research on that. There is so much information. So I did not go to a nutritionist, but I started doing research on these things, on food especially, that interested me a lot. When I started working out, I also understood that the food is very important. Then I started researching on that. I started listening to podcasts, I started reading. Then I went to the reliable source when I listened to the podcast as well. I didn't go follow any. Then I understood that it's very simple. Dieting is simple. It's not as complicated as you see a lot of reels. It can be made very simple. Very simple food. Healthy cooking is easier than the unhealthy cooking, because you don't need to add a lot of masala, spices, healthy
and oil.
Yeah, healthy food is simpler. Like you have 2 to 3 eggs, you will get around 16, 18 grams of protein there, and boiling egg will not take much effort. So healthy cooking is so much more easier than the unhealthy one. So follow the healthy diet. It's easier, right? Cooking gets easier. For women, we spend so much time in the kitchen. Instead of that, inculcate the healthy habits. It's healthy for everyone, easy for you, easy for the family, and also you're taking care of the nutritional needs of the whole of the family and for yourself.
Divya, what will be one powerful message you would like to give to women who are still, in that stage of thinking of building a healthy lifestyle, or they have just started this journey? What is a powerful message you would like to share for them?
What I would say is, do not compare yourself with anyone else. Don't have an external validation. And if you want to do something, take action towards it. If at all, if you want to get into fitness, start somewhere small. Make it a habit. Don't try to be a perfectionist. Perfection is not needed at all. What is very important is consistency. Be consistent, and eventually perfectionism or being perfect will follow. Start taking actions. Actions are the one which are very important. So yeah, and what is important is, instead of comparing to others, you have to become a better version of yourself.
Compare yourself with yourself.
Yeah, become a better version of yourself. You start feeling good after that, right? You don't have to be somebody else. There's so much on the social media. You don't have to be like an influencer, but being a better version of yourself is much more satisfying than becoming like someone else, or and basically follow a healthy diet. Is very important to follow include proteins and fibers along with your carbs. That's what I say now. That is a big takeaway, I would say, from this podcast, where do not forget on fibers.
the name of the podcast itself is living your live your dreams with Vartika, which is me.
Yeah.
So if I ask you, what does living your dreams means to you, Divya?
For
This is
me,
my last question.
all right. Yeah, for me, living my dreams means that taking actions. I started taking actions and I see a difference. You'll start seeing a difference once you start taking actions. And consistent actions are what are very important. I never aimed at being perfect. When I started my fitness as well, when I started eating also, I started knowing about it. I did a self investment. I went to a personal trainer, and many of them told me you're already fit. I mean, just being, that's also not one of the myth where, if you look thin, if you are slim, doesn't mean that you don't need fitness at all. Many of them, I did not start my fitness in the initial days. I should have started much before, because all of them told me you don't need it at all. Then I believe that. Don't believe what others say. You should know what your body requires. So when you think that you have to do something, that you have a passion for something, just go ahead and do it and give it a try. Be consistent, and you will achieve something. Somewhere you will reach somewhere. So that is what living my dream for me is, that I started taking actions, and it makes a huge difference.
Thank you so much, Divya, for sharing such a honest and deep conversation around health, fitness, and I would say mental health as well. We covered, and there will be a lot of women who will watch this podcast and they will get benefited. Why we need, first thing is why, what, and how. So
Yeah.
we beautifully covered all the three aspects: why you need
Yeah.
fitness, being fit, and what you need to do, as you mentioned, a professional. Third is how. So I think the listeners who will be listening this podcast, they will get benefited out of this discussion, and they will try to ponder a thought, a deep thought about not just having material gains in life. Success is not just about material gains. Success is a balanced approach towards life, where you are doing, where you're approaching your goals, where you're living your life dreams, and you're achieving your goals with a holistic health as well, which is very important. So thank you everyone for watching this podcast, and stay tuned for the next time. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me, and keep doing the good job that you are doing. Continue to do so.
Thank you so much, Divya.